Next on Worcester News Tonight, supporting the police, why one group is on a mission to cover the whole state in blue. Plus, Big Papi draws a crowd in central Massachusetts. The Red Sox great receiving a unique tribute earlier today. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. They're on a mission to show support for the police at all levels across the state. A group of women formed after several shootings involving police officers. Our Olivia Lemon caught up with them today and has a look at their visit with the Auburn Police Department.
The wives of Massachusetts State Police troopers are on a mission to cover the entire state in blue.
We decided to just bring this a little bit forward a little bit more and let people know that there is a support system out there for the women and men who are married to law enforcement officers.
Kimberly Watson started the support group MSP Wives after Trooper Thomas Clardy passed away. She heard about the idea for a blue ribbon campaign from a woman in New York City.
We've had a lot of wives come forward to help us out because we can't make it to every single town.
Tuesday, the group was in Auburn hanging blue ribbons at the police department. Watson says the Auburn visit is special because the community is still feeling the pain of losing Officer Ronald Tarantino.
We just want them to know we're here. We're here for them all. We support them.
The amount of support that we've seen has really been tremendous. It's been overwhelming, and we welcome all of it, and we'll continue to welcome all of that support.
The wives have done about 26 communities so far, but plan to cover all 351 cities and towns in the state blue.
The law enforcement who we've gone to and had them become part of this have been just so thankful. We're here.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
The MSP wives visited Northbridge on Monday. Returning to school this week has many police departments reminding drivers to be on the lookout for school buses and students crossing the street. Police are cautioning drivers to look out for school zones and students who may be crossing the street near those school zones. One police department we spoke with say they keep having to remind drivers not to pass a stopped school bus, especially when it has its flashing yellow lights.
Out to follow the buses around, and it never fails, particularly the first few days that school is open. We will be writing citations for failure to stop for a school bus, and they are not cheap.
Leicester starts school next week. Northbridge, Uxbridge, and Auburn are some of the school districts that will have their first day of school tomorrow. Well, Red Sox superstar David Ortiz is receiving many gifts during his last year playing for the Red Sox, and you can count a giant corn maze among them. Our Brittany Schaefer has a look at today's big reveal for Big Papi in Sterling.
When they talked to me about this project, I was like, really? No way.
Red Sox great David Ortiz visits Davis Farm Tuesday. Ortiz broke the cornstalk to symbolize the grand opening of the Davis Mega Maze. The giant corn maze is a tribute to Ortiz with his signature pose and the words, "Thanks, Big Papi," carved into the maze.
This is something very special. This is something that is hard to put together.
We're just so excited to see Big Papi coming out here. This is absolutely a tribute to him, and it took an awful lot to pull this whole thing together.
Co-owner Doug Davis says the Mega Maze has been named the #1 field maze in the world. The farm brought in world-renowned maze designer Adrian Fisher to create the Big Papi Mega Maze.
We had the challenge of making it a really fun puzzle to solve, but at the same time we had to also include the fantastic signature shape, the salute.
Davis says there isn't a better person to model their maze after than David Ortiz.
Having him come here, a celebrity of his status, and really the beloved nature of him, there isn't anyone that doesn't absolutely love Big Papi.
What a fantastic thing, at the end of a 20-year career, and this is his final retirement flourish, and we're absolutely thrilled to be part of it.
You don't get to see things like this every day, so thank you very much. I really appreciate everything, and God bless you.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Big Papi was able to make it back to Beantown in plenty of time for tonight's game against Tampa. Well, investigators in Southbridge are still trying to figure out what caused 2 fires. As many as 4 families were displaced by the fire on Benefit Street. As for the one on Main Street that broke out only hours before, it eventually reached 6 alarms due to intensity and hot weather. Police urging people to always be on the lookout for motorcycles after a crash in Leicester last night. Authorities say the driver of the car didn't see the motorcycle when changing lanes at the entrance of Walmart on Route 9. These photos were posted by the Leicester Police Department. No one was hurt. While major corporate chain stores like Lowe's and Home Depot can be found all across New England, one family-owned business has been in Worcester for more than 100 years and is showing no signs of slowing down. Our Rosalind Flaherty has a look at plans one local hardware store has to expand its operation.
It all began 102 years ago, right here in Webster Square.
A century-old Worcester institution is getting ready for a new look.
The only thing better than Barrows hardware is an expanded Barrows.
Family-owned Barrows Hardware is celebrating the start of a 6,300 square foot expansion of the store. It will allow the business to grow by building a larger paint department and increasing the size of their lawn and garden area to include outdoor displays.
We will be better positioned to serve our loyal customers that have been with us all these years.
Irving Barrows started the hardware store in Webster Square back in 1914. His son Bob Barrows moved the business in the 1960s to its current location on Webster Street, where it is now operated by his son Brian. In a time when it's difficult for smaller businesses to compete with big box stores, city leaders say you can still find what you need at Barrows.
I say, this is what I'm looking for. He goes, oh, we don't sell that here. I said, what do you mean? You're a big store. He goes, no. He said, if you want something like that, you got to go to Barrows.
A real family-based business is going to expand and continue to serve this neighborhood and serve the whole city and region.
Brian says him and his family are excited for the future.
We think we'll have something really special when it's all rolled out.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Changes are also coming to a popular Water Street establishment. The Perfect Game Sports Grill and Lounge is announcing it will close early next month. The Perfect Game has been in business for more than 6 years. News of the closing was posted on the Bar and Grill's Facebook page today, saying the bar's management is working on a, quote, exciting concept for the location within the growing Canal District. The Perfect Game will close effective September 5th. Today marks the 5th day of Powwow Worcester, a new festival in the city celebrating art and music from all over the world. Dozens gathered at the Bull Mansion tonight for a Q&A with street artist Tvar Zawacki. He spoke about his pieces and inspiration behind his work. Zawacki is based in Berlin and says the opportunity to paint in Worcester has been an unforgettable experience.
Invited here, and also it just feels great to be in a new city doing what I love to do, which is painting, and also connecting with the locals, connecting with the public, and making a piece that the locals can connect with.
The side of the DCU Center is being painted by Zawacki for the festival. The mural will serve as a proposal to his girlfriend and reads, "I love you, marry me." Hopefully he'll have a follow-up mural that will say yes. Congressman Jim McGovern hosts his 6th annual agricultural tour on Tuesday. He visited farms like Pearson's Elmhurst Dairy in Millbury. The 2-day tour includes visits from farms across the state along with roundtable discussions. McGovern says it's important to highlight the success of the Massachusetts agricultural industry.
Calling attention to the great farms that we have here in Massachusetts, and my hope is that we're going to, I'm going to learn about ways I could be helpful in Washington. We have state officials here, learn ways they can be helpful, but also try to attract attention to what goes on here so that some of our local residents will support them.
McGovern was joined by a USDA deputy administrator. His farm tour plans to cover topics like preservation of farmland, the impact of climate change, and new organic farming standards.